Welcome to the Real Life Man podcast, where we discuss masculinity, faith, and the struggles we don't always talk about. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Real Life Man podcast. And I wanted to start this off by kind of giving you guys the package of who we are, why we're here, and what the next episodes are going to be about. So I have two people here on. So we're three on the show: Chris, Justin, and me, Mark. And we wanted to give a quick introduction for each other. So I'll start off. My name is Marc Tabayo. I live in Oklahoma, and have met up with Chris. We're in the side of the same church and are working on various projects for um, being able to help people within their identity and all of that kind of stuff. Many of you have also seen me and reached out to me on the Beckett Cook show, and I'll be talking a little bit more of that in a little bit. But I wanted to get first Justin and then Chris to go ahead and get introduced.
My name is Justin. Right now, I'm in the Washington, D.C. area, but we move around pretty frequently for my work. And so I also reached out to Mark after the Beckett Cook show, as I believe many of our future listeners have been doing.
So I'm Chris Elledge. I live in Oklahoma, and I lead a mentoring nonprofit. And that's how Mark and I connected, because we were talking about mentoring one day and just his desire for this and things he's experienced. It was a good connection. So here we are doing a podcast. Yeah.
That's totally no, I exactly right. So many people have been able to connect with me over my email, and I can just say it's been overwhelming, just the number of people, men, women, young adults that have reached out to me. And the reality is that I'm not going to be the person that is going to be able to help everyone. We are wanting to create this resource. And basically, the struggle that we have with our identities is we're not alone in this, even though we maybe feel like we're alone. Everybody struggles with their identity in one way, shape, or another. And for me, it came out with same-sex attraction, and that is common with many of our listeners. And basically, the whole goal of this is just saying, wow, what can I do to be able to help out with all of these listeners kind of reaching out? And God put on the way Chris inside of the church that we visited in Oklahoma to say, hey, we are a nonprofit that helps, um, you know, people with mentoring. And I thought that that was exactly the mission that I want to be able to hitch my wagon to, because the only way that we can figure out our lives is through having somebody that's older and that's more seasoned to walk with inside of this life. This life is not hard, it's actually impossible if we don't have Christ. And then on top of it, we now have other people walking alongside us and reminding us of who we are in Christ. And so this is the whole goal of this podcast, is to really talk about um, what it is to be a man. So I wanted to kind of get Justin to kind of introduce that quick question.
The overall purpose of our podcast is trying to define like what is it actually mean to be a man or a woman in Christ. I also struggle with same-sex attraction and childhood sexual abuse, and that really impacted how I viewed myself. But I think what we're going to discover as we go along is that what that looks like for each person looks different, and that's okay.
Totally.
I will tap into that. I grew up in a very dysfunctional home. Abuse, alcoholism, poverty, really felt alone, and that resonates with a lot of men. Really feeling alone on the journey, no one to talk to, no one to help me understand what's going on inside of my head. And so, because we know this podcast is really about identity, I recently have processed this greatly. If I don't understand the character of God, um, that is going to mirror how I see myself. it will impact how I see not only myself, but other people as well. And that hinders relationships. And so I really, part of this, the purpose of this podcast is to help people really understand the character, who God is as our Father, because it speaks directly into our identity.
And I do want to add, I think another big point is that I know I felt very alone for a lot of my life. Like I'm the
Mm,
only one that struggles with same-sex attraction, or I'm the only one that was sexually abused as a child. And another big point to this is that I wasn't alone, and it took me a long time to actually discover that. And also for our listeners, you're also not alone. There are other people that have gone through this. You're so broken that God can't fix you.
that's right.
Yeah, that is the biggest lie I think that I mean, that all humanity has heard from the devil is to say that you are alone inside of the struggle and you shouldn't tell anyone because you are going to be, people are going to be disgusted by you. And that couldn't be more further away from the truth. Being able to put things into the light is what delivers us. And that's where I'm really excited to be able to just bring on and showcase the different men that have come in and out of all three of our lives. So Chris, Justin, and myself, we have guests that will be coming on to talk about what it is to be a man and what kind of struggles they've gone through and what it means to just live a life that is worthy of being a son or a daughter of God. And so this is going to be more concentrated on men. Um, would either you, Chris, or Justin talk about any of the guests that we'll be having on here in the episodes to come?
Well, some we don't even know who they're going to be yet. That's going to be exciting to go. Who is God going to put in our paths? And so I see us interviewing men of all ages, different backgrounds, different cultures, because men are men. You peel back all these things, culture, language, looks, image, all those things, careers, put them aside, and men are men at their core. And so our different guests, I look forward to discovering who those are going to be, of different backgrounds. I'm recently I just discovered I'm going to be interviewing a man from the States who, not for this podcast yet, but possibly for this one as well. He's a former senator, but he's a man of God. And when I met him through a webinar recently, he was so humble and yet so bold about who he is. And that really resonated with me. I thought, this is a guy I want to talk to, but I also want to talk to the guy who wants to give up. He thinks I'm on my last, attempt to try to be healthy and have a good life. I want to talk to those guys as well.
Hmm. Justin, anything that you would add on who we're going to be having on?
Yeah, so we're gonna, as Mark said, have guests on from all different walks. And the big point is when it comes to who you are in Christ as a child of God, you're gonna hopefully discover, as we've all discovered, it really looks different for each person. So you're not alone in your experiences, and your walk is unique, and that's how you reflect the image of God in you. And each one of us has a different reflection of that, and we should rejoice in that.
Yeah,
Also, as we go along, we'll be talking about various topics as they come up, um, whatever those may be. And please feel free to send us suggestions.
In fact, I think that's an excellent idea. We want to hear from you guys. What do you want to talk about? I've had so many guys over the years in the work that I do with mentoring to say, I've never been in a relationship, had a conversation with another man where I could actually talk about these things. I didn't know you could do that. And so that's not going to be the case here. We're going to open up the door and not be afraid to talk about anything.
and the reality is that we're going to have people from all walks of life, but all over the planet. Men are men, and it's going to be men that are in Europe, uh, in Central Asia, I'm sure to come. Uh, we have a couple from Africa that will be coming on as well. And we want to be able to give that whole gamut of the perspective of what a man is from all around the world and what it means to look Christ-like. So um, please send in your questions, as Justin did say. Yeah, we want to be able to hear about what it is that you guys want to hear us talk on, or if there's someone that wants to reach out and also be on the podcast and give their story of what it means to be a man and give their testimony because it's a powerful one, we want to hear it. And this is not a podcast where we want to concentrate or help people with their same-sex attraction per se. It's really more geared towards identity. And so that really is the root of the issue here. And we want to be able to empower you guys with what we've learned as well. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Chris and Justin.
Well, also, as you send in your questions, as we accumulate those, if you don't want us to put those on the show, please indicate that clearly, because otherwise we may use your questions on future episodes of the show as more of a question and answer episode.
Totally.
We do. We want to respect people's confidentiality. And at the same time, the more we open up and talk about our struggles and challenges, our hopes and our dreams as men, I promise you, it builds a level of confidence maybe you've never experienced before. So we want to help you guys begin to walk that path.
Yeah, for sure. Being able to open up and connect with people, that's what God built us to do, and too
And
many people
guys,
don't.
the three of us are an example. As listeners, I want you to understand we did not know one another a year ago. And so we are able to have, I think, meaningful, honest conversations with one another and do this podcast together. And we were strangers not too long ago. So, yeah, this is good stuff.
And also encourage you guys to be able to do the same with people around you, because I think that that's really what's lacking, and not to be afraid, but to be ready for to see what God has for you guys, and really find deliverance through those conversations. Yep.
In fact, guys,
There's a lot of strength to be found in that vulnerability.
Oh yeah.
what if one of the purposes of this podcast is to help listeners become conversational catalyst? Think
Hmm.
about that. I'm going to be the one to get this conversation started and give other guys the courage and the opportunity to talk about things they've never talked about with another person. I like that. Conversational catalyst.
That is perfect. We'll take it. We need to have those conversations. So I'm really looking forward to your guys' feedback, and we'll have the a contact email that you'll be able to send over in the show notes, but as well in the outro of this in all podcasts. And we look forward to be able to connecting with all of you guys through Fahrenheit Mentoring, because that's where we are creating the podcast out of. So, yeah, thank you so much, everybody.
Sounds good.
Have a great day.
Thanks for tuning in to Real Life Men. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who you think it would speak to also. Please subscribe and leave a review for more honest conversations about manhood, identity, and real life. This podcast is brought to you by Fahrenheit Mentoring. Please visit our website at FahrenheitMentoring.org to listen to other shows and to learn more about our course on how to be a mentor. Have comments or questions to share? Your question may appear on a future episode. Email us at contact@FahrenheitMentoring.org. Until next time, keep being authentic, keep growing, and keep following our God where He leads you. Thanks for tuning in to Real Life Men. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who you think it would speak to also. Please subscribe and leave a review for more honest conversations about manhood, identity, and real life. This podcast is brought to you by Fahrenheit Mentoring. Please visit our website at fahrenheitmentoring.org to listen to other shows and to learn more about our course on how to be a mentor. Have comments or questions to share? Your question may appear on a future episode. Email us at contact@fahrenheitmentoring.org. Until next time, keep being authentic, keep growing, and keep following our God where He leads you.